live again here at the Wicked Chair Chat Studio. Once again, I am without my hat, but I have several others. I am John Palmer, the old man from the Wicked Chair Chats. This is not my hat. This is my wicker chair. This is not my Wicked Chair Chats hat, given to me by my oldest nephew, Adam Palmer. Some of you may know him. And this is a live video of a YouTube site of the Wicker Chair Chats. I am on the air live right now. I don't see any thumbs up. I don't see any people watching, but I did advise you that I am going to be live, and I am late from being live. I said 9 o'clock, and it is now quite late now. I'm not sure what time it is because I have a talking alarm, but I did want to show you a few things. There was a friend of mine. I poked a friend, and every time before I poke somebody, I like to check out. I pushed it. Check out his profile. And I'm gonna pull this up just a little bit. Then just make sure you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. But at least the lighting looks good. I poked a guy, and the first thing that came up on the screen, on this young man's screen, was a thing that I don't have in front of me. It's a canine, but I do have a canine. I also have several other things. And there were these. I have several of them. Over the years, I collected them. And Doctor Who, of course, you've seen this and this on my Wicked Chair Chats hat. Ah, yeah, that little guy. And, of course, the famous, whoop, there you go. And this guy, this was my, actually, this little guy was really my least favorite doctor. He was a little odd. He was fired from the show, if I can remember correctly. And these are a few pins that my, I love Hallwell, of course, because I live there. And vote, just vote, and have a happy day. And of course, one of my favorites, Jesse Jackson in '84. I almost voted for him, actually. And of course, one of my favorites, Stop the Draft. It was actually in place while I was growing up. I was born in '62, 1962. Something you don't forget when you're going to the doctors every other day or something. Going to the doctors, going to the emergency room, going to the hospital, and what do you see? Well, you see a bunch of people registering you in and asking the same stupid questions every single time. And what's the very first stupid question you hear every single time? What is your name, full name, or and what is your date of birth? And believe me, after spending a year getting better, and finally getting completely better, as if you can tell, no tics, no stuttering, no wubba wubba wubba. I can't even begin to do that. But one of my favorite movies was well, of course, all three of them was pretty good. Free Willy, and guess what I got? Yeah, Free Willy 2. Uh, or Free Willy 1, and he was showing it off to his brother, or half brother, and that little guy was so funny. Uh, yeah, one thing I loved about that guy was he had the what was it? Oh, his line was, please, you get me out of here. I promise I won't riot. But then he says, as he's getting on the airplane, in the harness, Jesse says, well, no, don't worry. It's just like bungee jumping, only in reverse or something like that. He says, I never went bungee jumping. I lied. That was my favorite of that particular movie. Movie number one, of course, was the ending. All you gotta do is jump. All you gotta do is jump. And of course, The Simpsons, or one of the cartoons, ruined it by saying, "Okay, Willie, all you gotta do is jump." Cartoon, and you flop right on top of him. I like that one too. Of course, the last one was the best for me, because I was saving him from he saved the whaler who put a harpoon in him. So talk about whales being smarter than people, Um, so what am I going to say to encourage you today about alcohol and about drugs? I was listening to somebody recently. I heard something about, somebody very, I can't remember when or how long ago, but very recently I heard somebody just say, in an AA meetings recently, she said, I'm tired of listening to people, hearing about people dying of opium, and just dying on the street. She's tired of it, and so am I. I wish that somebody could stop that. I mean, the mayor of Portland the other day was on the air, and he was saying how good he was doing, and I was saying, well, you're doing the best you can, considering your program is to give people clean needles so they can do drugs, illegal drugs, safely, but they still die. Okay, you can still die. You can die from what I was doing. I was doing Benadryl. The worst part of my life was just before I was delivering kind of a journal in '89. The worst part of my life there, I was delivering the KJ bright and early in the mornings, 2 o'clock in the morning. I would go into a store that was open at 2 o'clock in the morning, a little country store that never closed. It was like, one of those things like you see in the Taken, always open. It's like in the middle of nowhere. And this one it was always open, and I could get something called Jolt, Jolt, in big 16-ounce bottles, and I'd buy 2 of them at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd be done at my paper route by 6, because I had a big paper route back then. And then I would go home to my house and secretly hide and secretly buy diphenhydramine, or Benadryl, diphenhydramine in Benadryl form. do it. I was living in Monmouth at the time, and across the street from the fire department, which blew their whistles every single night at 8 o'clock, and we had to go like this. No wonder I'm deaf. maybe, I'm deaf in this ear because I didn't cover my ears enough times. Just listening, living there for quite a while, or a little while anyway. I can't remember how long. But anywho, there was a store across the street, or from the firehouse was my house, and the statue, and the railroad tracks, and a tiny little country store, Monmouth store, mom and papa store, like my grandfather or great grandfather owned in Beecham, Vermont. And another thing that you should do, besides subscribe and push the like buttons only, don't do that one, but just push the like buttons and just enjoy my memories, because all of this right now, this is not a script. This is not a script. I do not have any script in front of me, next behind the camera or anything like that. It's just for my memory, because that's part of who I am. I was thinking about just why my mind just flows when I get to a certain point, and my mind just flows. And now that I don't have to stutter, now that I don't have to turn like that, I feel great. And you know what? You know what I did today? For some reason I didn't get to a meeting. But you know what? I'm still clean. Look at these eyes. Look like in the mirror. They're nice and clean. They're white. I can't tell from the camera lens because I'm looking right into the camera lens. But they're white, like a friend of mine says. Look in the mirror at the person standing in front of it when you're still drinking or still drugging, and you're still, oh my God, why am I still doing this? I did that for 5-6 years. It sucks. It really, really sucks. For the last 6 months of my drinking, before I was confronted at work for 12 and a half minutes by my boss, Guy Larry-Shell. And I just got my 4-year coin, and this certificate up here, it says Monhegan Bill on it, because I love Monhegan Bill so much, and I love the Monhegan Island trip. I only went once, and it was a total experience that I won't ever forget. And if I get some funding and I can get to go on the road, hey, look, I'm completely cured. Maybe they'll give me my license back tomorrow if I ever get my doctor to talk to me. Oh wow, I have one view. Thank you. And if I can get my doctor to talk to me, I talked to her. I called the office at 8:35. I called her again at like, I don't know, what was it? 10:25, and I never heard back. I talked to my sister. I said, what's going on, And I said, and I still haven't heard back from her. And I left these 2 messages, and she said, call me. I mean, this is major stuff here. I went from seizure medication, doubled. And I'm still taking thyroid medication, and I swear that just in the time I got the seizure medication, and the seizure medication was working now, because look at me, I don't have any symptoms at all. I'm not stuttering at all, and I'm not ticking, and I'm not whining, and I'm not stuttering in other languages. I mean, I'm sorry. Um, I didn't mean languages, excepting if somebody can tell me exactly how the translation works so that I can reach the worldwide audience that I'm reaching. I hope to be reaching because I do. I'm the followers at the Fan Club website right now are just 2,594. I think it is something like that. It's just before I went on the air. I'm not sure what it is now. Wow, thank you so much. And I'm really been rambling on here forever, but so I'm just going to remind you to push the subscribe button and push the thumbs up button only. You can do that one if you want, and comment. Push the comment button and do some comment. You're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good. I don't know how you do it, but I try and do it. Well, I'll tell you how I do it, and this will be hopefully good for you. And what do I always say now? Keep it real. I do that. I go in. I went into the grocery store without my hat on, and just before this, just before my popularity grew substantially, and I said, well, I taped my friend Stephen, from Hannaford's in Augusta, and I don't know if he still knew it was really YouTube or something, if he was just kidding, but he's a good kid. And good kids fall by the wayside just as easily as I wanted to. I only got stoned once. I was on the Appalachian Trail during a Metrowana hiking trip, and that was an experience I'll talk about a little later, but because I'm still rambling here, and my glasses are off, so I can't exactly tell how many minutes I've been on, because I've been on for, what, it says 18 minutes and 15 seconds. Good grief. I'm rambling here. What do I always say? Keep it real. Okay? Just stay clean. Okay? Make your eyes look white when you look into the mirror, not bloodshot, not blue, not some other weird color. Don't say, oh my God, why am I doing this to myself? Don't take the opium that you know is bad for you. That one more overdose and you're not gonna make an overdose. You're not gonna survive more than a couple. Some people don't survive more than one. Okay. And life is important. Please remember that. But if you really want some fun, out of life, watch my show. This is not this live stuff. I mean, this live stuff is just for you to enjoy, to try and get you to understand that it is one day at a time. It's not forever. If it was forever, I wouldn't be here. The last 6 months of my drinking, 4 months before I quit drinking for good, I said in a Wednesday night prayer service at Chesley Road United Methodist Church, I said, look, Wednesday night. I said, look, I have not drank a thing since since Tuesday. And I got the biggest, oh my, praise God from whom all blessings flow. I mean, it was just outrageous. I said that I had, been drinking for a long time and admitted it and said, I have not had a drink since 2 nights ago. Guess what? Guess what happened? That was Wednesday night prayer service. Guess what I did the next day? Thursday afternoon, after work, what did I do? I picked up another bottle of rum. I guess I wasn't ready to quit. And Guy Larochelle and John Carter made me quit. But I was ready. They talk about that rock bottom thing. Well, I had my rock bottom. The day before, the last day I have ever drunk alcohol, I took the 750 milliliter bottle of Bacardi rum has a black line on it. I had a little bit higher, a little bit lower. I can't remember now. It's been 4 years. And I drank that. I got home from work on a Thursday, and I drank that tiny little bit of rum. Well, tiny for me, because it only took like 10 minutes after I got home to polish it off. And then, what did I do? Remember that half a gallon that I poured down the flush on our previous Wicker Chair Chats? I hope you do, because that represented to me something that I'd seen, something that I'd heard about, but I don't think I'd ever seen it on YouTube. Maybe I've not. Maybe I just heard about it in AA. It's an inspirational thing. I was inspired by just a year of not drinking. I duct taped that sucker closed. I didn't have one drop of liquor in me. Okay? I had one drop of liquor in me. I had a cough. I had a cough medicine about a month into my drink. And guess why? Because I didn't look at the stupid label. I wasn't smart enough to look at the label. But you know what I did do for 4 years? Got them 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For 4 years. My dad's favorite pudding was bubble pudding. And for 4 years, tapioca was off my list. And do you know why? Because it has vanilla extract in it. And aside from the stories that I've heard in AA about people going into rehabs and bringing in, what was it, aftershave, and going down the hallway to get something and coming back, and what do you see after doing that? What do? You go in after and you see the aftershave is gone, and you wonder where it went, and your roommate says, gee, I don't know what happened to it. And you obviously know that what happened to it was they drank it. And some people were but it's an individual choice. Some people have individual choices. And I had the individual choice to say, well, I have heard so many stories about vanilla extract having alcohol in it that I will not have my very favorite pudding until I heard that there was a vanilla extract without alcohol in it. And you know what happened? I bought it. Just recently, like a month ago. And now I can make tapioca pudding, bubble pudding, my dad's favorite from when he was a kid. And when I went to Florida, I was late, and Grandpa and Grandma met me at the airport late. And the first thing I saw was palm trees. I'd never seen palm trees before. I loved palm trees so much, and I just, you know, I'm sorry I'm rambling, but I just feel like talking tonight for some reason. I think you should do what I did for today. I didn't drink. I didn't do any kind of drugs that weren't prescribed to me. And I did it in a 24-hour time period. A little more because I woke up at 5 and I gave you that morning speech. Good morning speech. Now I am going to cut it here because I've been talking for 26 minutes and I love you all. And please, if you want it, I was very entertaining even when I was drinking. The Wicker Chair Chats, Off the Wall, all those things behind me are real live newspaper articles from the Weekly World News, and it doesn't exist anymore. And I covered my entire 80-foot by 17.5-foot trailer with the Weekly World News. And people who would visited me, the kids at the park, who would, the little Jakey, who would be my cameraman. He was my cameraman when I poured the stuff on the flush. And his brother, Fred Chubbs. I miss them so much, and they caused me so much heartache and so much pain in the buttness, and I wasted so much money on them. Just, give them $20 or $40 to mow my 20 or 25-foot lawn, and they get the money early and never come back. And but I forgave them when I left the trailer park. When I realized I wasn't coming back, and it was the last day I moved. I really knew I wasn't coming back, and I drove around the park, and I knew where they lived, and somehow, by fate, by God, by the higher power I choose to call God, they were there. Out in their trailer, out of their trailer, and I was able to hug them and say I love you, because I did. I think that was my amends to them, and their amends to me was just accepting my goodness. They called me Bubbles for some reason. They said Bubbles all the time, and they were a pain in my ass, but I think just my drinking, my yelling at the top of my lungs, or even after I sobered up, I did that. But now I don't even think about yelling right now. That's part of the miracle with the seizure drug working and the thyroid drug working. So just keep it real, and I'm going to sign off at 30 minutes. And hope that you stay clean, stay sober, and do it one 24-hour time period at a time. Amen? Hallelujah. Keep it real. That's what I want you. That's what I want you to say whenever you see me in public, whether I have my hat on or not. I love my hat. I love my nephew. He's one of the best nephews I ever had. Well, I only have 3. I only have 3 right now. Well, 3 three nephews and one great niece. I mean, one niece, and I'm gonna have a great niece in January, I think. And I've got, of course, Lincoln as my great nephew, and everybody's great in my life. And I want things to be great in yours. So stop drugging, stop drinking, and just do it one 24-hour time period at a time. Thumbs up. Keep it real, folks. I'm going to cut off right out before I start bawling my head off. Thank you.